Okay, so welcome Cesar, or Cesar, how do you say it in Portuguese?
Cesar.
Cesar, to the Teddy Awards and to the Berlinale. You brought a very unconventional documentary, maybe one could say, to this festival, in which you are presenting the life and the personality of your uncle, who was a very well-known, famous artist in Brazil. And his name is Hélio. And at first I would like to know why you actually chose to make a film about your own uncle and what inspired you to do that.
Yeah, in truth, like the film came to me, because I was making a research for an exhibition and I found some Super 8 films of him that had never been shown before.
Deixar de ser velho, que quer dizer, uma iniciação sexual, é lógico, nada melhor do que as ruas para iniciar as pessoas sexualmente, em todos os ramos, os mais absurdos possíveis. Você pode crer que eu já passei por ele. Mas aí a rua era um elemento também para que contrapunha toda a coisa mais abstrata, que eu tinha uma tendência muito perigosa a me encerrar muito nas ideias, o que acontece com todos os artistas, na minha opinião. Eu era muito velho para a minha idade. Quando eu era adolescente, eu era uma pessoa intragável. Quer dizer, eu me achava mais inteligente que todo mundo, mais genial que todo mundo, e era mesmo, porque eu tinha já uma informação muito, principalmente no Brasil, né? Da metade de junho de 70, da metade de julho, eu tinha uma exposição chamada Infiormation, no Museu das Modernas de Nova York, que era uma espécie de síntese dos anos 60, internacional. E tinha uma sala minha enorme, que tinha 28 ninhos construídos, e que as pessoas entravam dentro e podia cada uma construir o seu próprio ninho. E, aliás, na inauguração logo aconteceu que a mulher Happy Rockefeller foi abrindo os ninhos, tinha um casal trepando dentro dos ninhos, aí falou as câmeras, saiu no jornal. Foi a coisa mais importante que o artista brasileiro já fez nos Estados Unidos, foi essa minha participação na Information, que agora, principalmente agora, cada vez aumenta mais a repercussão da coisa. Cada pessoa que me apresenta sabe sobre o assunto e faz mil elogios. Quando eu voltei para o Rio, tinha a notícia que eu tinha ganho a bolsa da Guggenheim. Aí eu fui para Nova York em dezembro de 70.
And when I saw those movies, I realized that it was like put the audience into the eye of the artist. So immediately I felt it was very powerful in a way, because he was working too with like the Super 8 as like time capsules. So you have parts, of his life, or of life of New York and New York scene at that period. So this is a great material, and you're gonna show too with Max Hinderer in the talk.
So what material did you come across first? Do you remember? Like, what was it, like interviews he was given, or like what struck you at the first time when you saw this material?
Yeah, and I know at the same time I knew already the tapes, the HELIO tapes. So, and of course, immediately I think these films with the tapes should be, great, because at the same time in the eye, and you are hearing you are in the head because of the thoughts, So I felt this was that I had starting a film. And it was 10 years ago. And And of course, after we had to plan the film and make a big research, which was a great adventure because we found some very nice and unreleased stuff.
So, how would you describe the personality of your uncle? What kind of human being, really, like in the literal sense, what kind of human being was he? You know, like walking on this planet. Like,
He was wild man, you know, and very. As you can feel it into the film, I think, because that's the edit is so fast, because he was very intense. You know, in the work, in the life, everything was
what
put
made
to
it
the
so
highest
tense?
level of intensity.
Okay.
So that's why he started to put the art, the life into the art, you know, because he had this thing he named ambulatorium delirium, which was walking through the city, in the streets, in some areas of Rio, marginal areas that you have red light zone, you know, and people from the slums too. He used to go to Mangueira, and all this, you know, walking through this place for him was a kind of work at the same time, where he can find things and have ideas. So the life for him was a work of art.
Work of art. And then you decided to, you know, compose all this archive footage you found and not put, you know, extra commentary or like audio commentary on it, but just leave it for itself as a work itself. So why did you decide that? Why didn't you want to put any, you know, your commentary on it, or people that knew him, you know, interview him from the present perspective? Like, why did you?
Yeah, first I don't like very much those documentaries with too many interviews. From now, when you are talking from that, it's not that I'm, you know, don't like all those documentaries, but I think I should be more experimental, and at the same time the material was so huge, the tapes, that I can make another movie, you know.
Like the second part of it.
Yeah, I will not make it, of course, but I have material if I want. So this was the first question, if I had the material, because the tapes was, you know, bad, because old, and we had to work on the studios to get it better. But so just in the middle, I feel that I had a good stuff that I can use and people understand. And so it was very nice to found all those things, you know, mainly the images, because we found great stuff.
So what kind of status does your uncle have in Brazil?
Sorry?
What kind of status, or like what kind of reputation does he have in Brazil today, your uncle?
Today?
Yes, is he still
okay.
very much a part of the discussion, or like is he?
Yeah, I think in all around the world mainly. I think in Brazil we still have a way to reach, you know, the cultural level in some sense, you know. I mean, for art, for his art, you know. That's why being the Berlinale is so nice, because having this thing of multi-platform, you know, and it was something that he was working 40 years ago. So, but the reputation now is very big. Like, he is known, but not really the work, because you cannot travel Brazil with exhibitions in all the states of Brazil. So the exhibitions goes more to Rio and São Paulo, maybe Belo Horizonte sometimes, but not too much, and sometimes to the south, but not pretty much too. So it's very difficult.
It's okay. So you say his person is more famous than his art? Like, what would people like?
No, the people know more the name, but no. Sometimes people know the name and no, even he's an artist. You know, he thinks he's a writer, or something like that, which is good in some sense, because he's not just artist, like he was an artist in a whole sense of he writes and have these tapes, have our thoughts, you know. So sometimes he was a writer too, but not mainly.
So why? So what do you think? What part did drugs and sexuality play in his life?
Oh, it's a strong part, I think, yeah. And people always try to put by side, you know, like in the New York period mainly, where and when he was more in the drugs, and like that's why I like to bring the Cosmococa, which is this work that is in the other, in the For Expanded, because now it completes 40 years. And you know, in Brazil now we have in Inhotim, which is a great center, the original 5 one permanently there, which is great.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
But to bring it in the film festival, you know, it's something that never happened before. So we're just starting a new road for the work, which is incredible. You can see the work still now is very up to date, you know.
So what do you wish his work to develop into? Like, what do you wish for his work to happen in the future? What's your dream?
We're doing an exhibition now too that will come to Frankfurt in October. That's Hélio Oiticica, the museum is the world. So you have the works that is outside, not just inside museums. So spread the works through the city. I would like very much to bring it to Berlin, but it's very difficult to go to Frankfurt and then come here. So I'm trying, I'm trying. But I'm thinking for here maybe do an exhibition only of the prepositions, because it has this thing that preposition, like the Cosmococa 6 we mounted here in Hamburg-Bahnhof is a preposition.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so it's an idea you have, or like a...
he had an idea and sent a letter for his friend to do the work. So he has 5 original with Neville de Almeida, this great filmmaker, Brazilian filmmaker, and 4 prepositions for other people. So it's completely the destruction of the object, you know. So it's just the idea, I give it to you, you make it. So you can make your own Cosmococa.
Okay.
So or the, you know, there's a proposition called Call Me Helium, and it's a balloon that's reading Call Me Helium, which is a Jimi Hendrix quotation, and it was to be made at Rio in the pier. At that time we don't have the pier anymore, but it's funny because where it was the pier, now it's the gay part of the beach, you know. So you have this balloon and go Call Me Helium, and one guy came, but it's not him, it's another guy who wants to make it, and with the t-shirt reading I am Hélio Oiticica, you know. And he started to say a lot of big script, a lot of words and poetry, and with sounds, you know, Jimi Hendrix. So this is preposition, and making one exhibition just with it, I think it's some place that we did not go yet, and I think it's it's very good to make it, you know. It's something that have to be done.
Okay, so how do you think the question of sexuality was important for your uncle, also in his artwork and expressing it, you know, very openly and unashamed and stuff?
Yeah, he was always unashamed. So and he has several works that was related to it, like Neuróticas, which are the guys from New York that he knew and he liked. He think they are sexy, and so it's like a slide projection and with radio, on the background, and he is reading Humboldt.
Okay.
You know, so this is one of the works. So I have the film that's in my film, Teresa Jordão, that I think is the climax of the film, and it's never been shown before. It will be world premiered in the Max store, you know. So and I have another works but all this part of New York, he goes more to it, you know.
To sexuality and drugs.
Yes.
How did your what kind of position does he have in your family? Your uncle, what is he still alive there? Do you talk about him? Is he, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, a lot.
What is?
And he is incredible, this thing about, because our family is other kind of Brazilian family, because my grandfather, he was an anarchist leader in Brazil. And so it's incredible because Hélio, it was always gay since from he was a child. You can my father always talk about this.
He always knew
but
it.
At the same time, he was the one that ruled the family, you know, because he had a very strong personality. So, he was the oldest son. So once my grandmother was sick, and my grandfather had to go to the hospital to stay there for 1 month or something like that, and stayed only the children, the boys, got 3 brothers, with the maid. And Hélio inverted the day, so they stay awake during the night, you know.
Oh, really?
In the day, yeah. And you know, the maid got crazy because she needs to put the lunch midnight. Midnight.
So you inverted time completely.
Yeah.
You played with time. Okay. Wow.
So it is very curious in my family,
They still talk about it? Or?
This relation, you know. And even now when I did the film, but you're from the family, and put a thing. Yeah, I'm from the family. My family is different, you know.
It's still very different.
It's very, it's much more, you know, closer than here. Probably, I don't know this question, you know.
Family.
Yeah, and homosexuality in family, you know.
How was that a topic in the family? In your family, was it ever a problem?
It's very normal, yeah, very normal, you know. Which is great. That's why when I made the film, I had no
fears or anything.
No, you know, censor, nothing and I only showed for my father after it was finished. So I have no way to go back to, because it was finalized already.
So so you showed it to. What does your family think about it?
They love it. The film, yeah.
They love it. Okay.
My father cried when he saw it for the first time. So
I think your family should be very proud to have such a member.
Yeah. We work for him all this time. I'm curator for his work in now 15 years. Wow. So.
But have you ever met him? But you were probably really.
But for my memories, not so much, because I used to say he know me better because he know me from when I was a child, but I don't remember. And after he went to New York and he came back, he died very fast. So and I was living in Manaus at that time, so it was just 2 trips.
Yeah. How old was he when he went to New York?
Went to New York, he was 30, I think. Yeah, 37 to.
And then he came back and immediately, short after he passed away. After
2 years. 2 years after he came back, went back to Brazil, he died. So.
And now you have the great honor to continue his work and to bring it to Europe, to Berlin, and to a great audience, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy to present his work, and I think the film will be the really presentation of him, mainly to Brazil, you know, because Brazil don't know
Now they will. With the film they will. Good luck. I wish you all the
Hope
best.
so, because still looking for distribution in Brazil is difficult.
But this is a good place to look out for it. At the
Yeah,
festival.
but we're gonna make a good work. Yeah,
Yes.
I hope.
I wish you all the best. Good luck for everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
to
so
invite.
much. Yeah.
Importante que o artista brasileiro já fez nos Estados Unidos foi essa minha participação na Infiormation, que agora, principalmente agora, cada vez aumenta mais a repercussão da coisa. Cada pessoa que me apresenta sabe sobre o assunto e faz mil elogios. Quando eu voltei para o Rio, tinha a notícia que eu tinha ganho a bolsa da Guggenheim. Aí eu fui para Nova York em dezembro de 70.
And when I saw those movies, I realized that was like put the audience into the.
Eu tinha uma exposição chamada Information, no Museu Nacional de Nova York, que era uma espécie de síntese dos anos 60, internacional. E tinha uma sala minha enorme, que tinha 28 ninhos construídos, e que as pessoas entravam dentro e podiam cada uma construir o seu próprio ninho. E, aliás, na inauguração aconteceu que a mulher Rockefeller foi abrindo os ninhos, tinha um casal trepando dentro dos ninhos, aí falou nos câmeras, saiu no jornal. Foi a coisa mais
Because I was making a research for an exhibition, and I found some Super 8 films of him that had never been shown before.
Então a rua era uma maneira de eu deixar de ser velho. E quer dizer, uma iniciação sexual, é lógico, nada melhor do que as ruas para iniciar as pessoas sexualmente. Em todos os ramos, os mais absurdos possíveis, você pode.
Okay, so welcome Cesar, or Cesar, how do you say it in Portuguese?
Cesar.
Cesar, to the Teddy Awards and to the Berlinale. You brought a very unconventional documentary, maybe one could say, to this festival, in which you are presenting the life and the personality of your uncle, who was a very well-known, famous artist in Brazil. And his name is Hélio. And at first I would like to know why you actually chose to make a film about your own uncle, and what inspired you to do that.
Yeah, in truth, like the film came to me, you know.
Pode crer que eu já passei por isso. Mas aí a rua era um elemento também para que contrapunha toda a coisa mais abstrata, que eu tinha uma tendência muito perigosa a me encerrar muito nas ideias, o que acontece com todos os artistas, na minha opinião. Eu era muito velho para a minha idade. Quando eu era adolescente, eu era uma pessoa intragável. Quer dizer, eu me achava mais inteligente que todo mundo, mais genial que todo mundo, e era mesmo, porque eu tinha já uma informação muito, principalmente no Brasil, né? Da metade de junho de 70,